G'day whisky lovers, you're watching the Hard Malt channel. My name's Tim and I'm here today with another whisky review. Today I've got something a little bit different and a little bit special, and I've got some of it in my the Whisky List Rewards members glass, which is a Luigi Bermioli whisky tasting snifter. And being that this is 17-year-old whisky, I'm just letting this sit in the glass and open up a little. So what I've got here today is from Duncan Taylor, who are an independent bottler in Scotland. This one is they disclose it as being distilled at An Islay distillery. However, they further disclosed this as being from Lagavulin distillery on the Isle of Islay. And this one, in fact, is bottled exclusively for the Whisky List Rewards members, and this is the Whisky List's first Peat Monster release. So hence Peat Monster #1 this is. So what else have we got here? It's aged 17 years in oak casks and finished for 9 months in an octave cask. I'll come to that in a second. I can hear you asking, what's an octave cask? And that's a great question. What else we got? It's a single cask. It's come out of an octave cask, so it's effectively a single cask, and it's a very small outturn. I have bottled 48 of 82, and this is bottled at cask strength, 53.1%. Being 17 years old, you lose a little bit of ABV over those years, so that's a pretty nice and comfortable drinking strength for me. Now, what is an octave cask? Well, they're using the same terminology used in music, in fact, that an octave is 1/8. So in terms of casks or barrels, whatever you want to call it, an octave cask is 1/8 the size of a sherry butt. So, and it's made from reused wood from ex-sherry butts, and custom made down to that octave size, which is roughly a cask that's going to hold up to, say, 70 litres. Now, given that 82 bottles at 700ml came out of that octave cask, that means there was a bit of air towards the end in the cask, allowing a bit of further oxidization and maturation. Why do they use an octave cask? Now, I will put a snip from Duncan Taylor's very own website, which has an excellent explanation of a full-size sherry butt compared to an octave cask and the reasons why. But in a nutshell, the smaller the cask, the more surface area you've got to the whisky, or the more contact you've got to the wood with the whisky. So you can tend to say that in a small cask like that, the whisky is going to mature even quicker. It's going to get more wood interaction because it's got more surface to wood ratio, and it can impart more of a well, I say it sort of imparts more of an older type influence of maturation, in that I'll often say that it's wiser beyond its years, so to speak. So a little bit more information on this one is obviously it was primarily matured in ex-bourbon casks, and it's distilled from Lagavulin distillery, and then it's been finished for 9 months in the octave casks, which are basically an ex-sherry cask. However, those octave casks are generally made up of wood that's come from exhausted sherry casks. So those sherry butts have probably been used 2 or 3 times, fairly exhausted. They're not really going to impart a huge amount of sherry influence anymore. They break it apart, cut the staves down, and make an octave cask. Again, you're still not going to get a huge sherry influence from that octave cask, but what you're going to get is that extra wood contact with the whiskey. So let's see what we've got here. Straight away, it's a very gentle sort of restrained smoke and peat note that's coming on the nose. Hints of ash, hints of seaweed. I also get a little bit of dark sort of citrus. I would say I'd want to call it marmalade, perhaps, just a hint, and really no huge sherry sort of influence to speak of. It's very well balanced. Let's see how it is on the palate. Absolutely delicious stuff. Yep, there's some more. You get some more of the earthy peat coming through. Bit of campfire. A little bit more seaweed or salinity, if you like. It's really rich. It's quite elegant compared to the official bottling of Lagavulin, let's say the 16-year-old, which is generally bottled at a lower ABV. It's chill filtered, and that's highly likely to be coloured with caramel colouring. A lot of people have had Lagavulin 16, and you could ask any of them, and they'll say it's quite an elegant sort of style Islay whiskey. And yeah, I'll go with that. However, I can't remember how long it's been since I've ever purchased a bottle of Lagavulin 16, purely for the reasons that it's chill filtered and it's likely coloured. And the price keeps going up generally. Even if you can get it on special, I just can't part ways with money on that anymore. This, on the other hand, I tentatively called this video 8 times better. Is this 8 times better than the official bottling? I would say so. This is in a whole other league of elegant Lagavulin whiskies. That nose is just delicious. So well balanced, soft smoke. Getting more of that dark orange marmalade, sort of bitter orange kind of. Seaweed still there. Absolutely delicious stuff. Medium long finish. And yeah, it sort of finishes with that delicate campfire, that earthy peat, and it just makes you want to keep sipping away at it. Now, I do have to apologise that this particular bottling, unless you've already got a bottle, you won't be able to get your hands on this one, because, as I said, it was bottled exclusively for the Whisky List Rewards members. However, Duncan Taylor do have a reasonable range of in the Octave range. I believe they have one from Bunnahabhain, a Ben Nevis as well, and there's a few others out there that you'll be able to get from your better spirit shops. Probably not not the mainstream shops. Go for your specialist guys, and you'll be able to find something in the Duncan Taylor Octave range. I will promise though, however, my next review will be something that you will be able to get your hands on. So until then guys, stay tuned for that. Slán Javar.